First on the Gulf Coast with breaking news and weather. Fox 10 News starts now.
Hello, and thank you for looking in. It's Wednesday. I'm Lenny Slagan.
And I'm Shelby Myers. We're glad to have you with us for Fox 10 News at 4.
Well, first today, Mobile business owners selling hemp products in their shops now have a path to stay legal. The City Council approving a new license process today.
Fox 10's Brendan Kirby is live in the studio to explain. Brendan, how does this all work?
Well, Shelby and Lenny, it works just like liquor licenses. The state issues the license, but the city must approve it. And that's now true for hemp products as well. These are products like hemp-based gummies, drinks, and oils sold in stores. They are legal and don't contain THC. New regulations at the state level took effect on January 1st. It added a 10% tax and put the Alcoholic Beverage Control Board in charge of licensing. But Mobile had not approved the process, and so that left some businesses in limbo. The ordinance passed by the council today gives 90 days for businesses that were selling the products prior to January 1st to get licensed.
This just gives us about 90 days to allow compliance so that they have time to actually go through that process of applying for an ABC license. Actually, I did hear where some of the groceries pulled it until they could figure out how to do the process, what the state was required of them. Others did not, and so this is really just to allow a 90-day compliance period so that they can comply with the new state laws.
Going forward, any business wanting to sell these products will need both state and city approval. Reporting live in the News Center, Brendan Kirby, Fox 10 News.
All right, thank you, Brendan. Well, new now, earlier today in Montgomery, a group of state senators considered but then decided to wait on voting for a bill that would expand Aniah's law. That law gives judges the choice to deny bond for crimes like murder and kidnapping. Our Alabama political correspondent Jessica Umbro joins us live outside of the State House. Jessica, why are lawmakers wanting to wait on this vote?
Well, Senator April Weaver, who is the sponsor of the Senate version of this bill, said that there's simply more work to do. Multiple lawmakers expressed concerns about expanding Aniah's law, raising questions of whether or not it negatively impacts her or gets in the way of due process and the idea of innocent until proven guilty. Now, Aniah's law is named after Aniah Blanchard. She was abducted and murdered in 2019. Her accused killer was out on bond for several violent crimes at the time. This bill would make it so that people charged with crimes like murder, first-degree kidnapping, rape, and human trafficking are held without bail before a pretrial detention hearing. This bill also expands the timeline for when that hearing would be held by, going from 3 days to 10 days after arrest. Those against the bill shared their concerns about it impacting defendants' rights. However, those in favor say it would make the court system more efficient.
As much as we want to slam people, you know, which some of them probably need to be slammed, don't get me wrong. But we don't live in a police state. We stay in a democracy. And a democracy is that a person is innocent until proven guilty.
By extending the time, that gives the defense attorneys, the prosecutors time to get more evidence, more discovery, so that they can better represent the victims and the defense attorneys, their clients, so that they are able to have the hearing one time and not do it twice.
Now, in this bill, it says that a defendant would be held without bond until that pretrial detention hearing takes place, or unless both the defense and the prosecution are able to come to an agreement about bail. Live at the State House, Jessica Umbro, Fox 10 News.
All right, thank you, Jessica. The Senate Judiciary Committee meeting every Wednesday morning, which is the next time that this bill could be considered again.
Okay, taking a live look outside. It's been a warm one out there, a little humid too.
Yeah, definitely. When you walk outside, you could feel it. Let's get an updated forecast with our chief meteorologist, Jason Smith. How long are we looking at this pattern, Jason?
Well, I mean, it's going to hold for a while. The only change will be we'll start to get some raindrops mixed in, but it's going to be warmer than average through Saturday.
Okay, hopefully the rain's not timing out for the weekend.
Right, we don't need that. We could see some showers Saturday. Sunday does look drier, Lenise. Here's what we're seeing in the forecast, and we've got 73 degrees out there right now for our current temperature. It's very, very mild, if not a little warm out there today. Winds out of the south-southeast, and here's where we stand with the conditions out there. You can see that things look pretty good across the forecast area, but we do have some cloud cover today. We had peaks of sun All through the southern part of the county and down towards the beaches, it is a little cloudier the further north you go, with an unsettled pattern trying to develop here. We could get some isolated showers tonight or tomorrow, but overall the rain chances are pretty low. Any rain that does materialize will be pretty light in nature in the forecast here. And then taking it forward tomorrow afternoon, I'm hopeful that we'll get some sunshine in the area mixed in with a few clouds. Better chance of showers in the inland spots. As far as fog goes tonight, half-mile visibility is possible. We're not looking at widespread dense fog, but we could see some areas of patchy dense fog across the Panhandle, the Eastern Shore, Mobile, and Pascagoula. So we'll be tracking that and monitoring that, especially tomorrow morning here on Fox 10 News with meteorologist Matt Barentine. We're checking out your forecasted rain chances for the tail end of the week and the weekend coming up.
Okay, Jason, thank you. Well, a group of skiers now on the final stretch of a 3-day backcountry trip near Lake Tahoe were returning to the trailhead yesterday morning when a wave of ice, rocks, and debris came crashing down on them.
It was a massive avalanche, and survivors were left desperately looking for the rest of their group and then having to come up with some type of shelter.
So far, 8 skiers have been found dead, 6 survivors have been rescued, and 1 is still missing. Ivan Rodriguez has the latest as crews race to reach them.
A tragic turn in the search for 9 missing skiers.
8 of the 9 additional skiers have been located deceased. We are still looking for 1 of the members at this time.
Emergency crews received reports of an avalanche hitting Castle Peak around 11:30 Tuesday morning. Immediately, skilled rescue ski teams raced to the scene. 46 emergency first responders in all, says the Nevada County Sheriff's Office. 11 hours later, the Sheriff's Office says 6 survivors were rescued with various injuries, 2 of whom were transported to the hospital for treatment. But as time goes on, weather conditions are becoming a challenge as skiers search for the 1 remaining missing skier.
Due to the ongoing challenges of the weather, the avalanche conditions, the effort remains ongoing, as well as our search for the remaining skier. But the weather is a factor. It's not a resource issue as we speak. It is a weather condition and safety condition for our response teams.
Even as snowfall tapers Wednesday, lingering showers and deep existing snow will keep travel difficult and terrain unstable around the Tahoe Basin and higher elevation. Another storm is expected to begin early Thursday, potentially stacking new snow on top of the current base. I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
On the roadways right now, our Hampton Inn camera here shows that traffic's moving along pretty well. We're getting a break from all the delays that were attributed mostly to Mardi Gras in the forecast area the last couple of days. Kind of back to business as usual, and the roadways look pretty good on our traffic tracker. We're not seeing any major issues around the tunnel or on I-65 or downtown. Looking at Highway 98 and I-10, everything looks pretty good here. And in Pensacola, it also looks just fine. No major problems or delays. We'll keep watching as we get closer to that 5 o'clock rush hour. I'll have another report at about 20 minutes until 5.
In Baldwin County, construction work close to Highway 98 near Fish River will continue at least for the next few months. The county is in the middle of expanding the Eastern Shore Trail east of Fish River Bridge. Now, once that's finished, the trail will extend from Spanish Fort at I-10 for nearly 25 miles. The goal is to eventually connect it to Magnolia Springs. So this was the dream of the late Tico Wiseman, who founded the Trailblazers of Baldwin County. The group raised money to match grants, which helped to build the trail that you see today. The multi-use trail offers cyclists and hikers a really nice opportunity to take in some of the scenic areas around the Baldwin County coastline. The latest section will stretch nearly 2 miles, strengthening the bond between communities.
As funding come available, as grant opportunities come available, we just carried forward with this vision and piece by piece was able to build it. Now we're with this latest segment of almost 2 miles of additional trail being added. We're at about 25 miles in total length, and so to see this vision come to life over many years, it's just been really good to watch.
It is a $2.1 million project funded with federal funds. And we understand that the completion date is expected for late this summer. You're going to hear more from people out enjoying this trail. That'll be coming up in less than an hour on Fox 10 News at 5.
Well, for millions of Christians, today marks a significant day of reflection and faith. Ash Wednesday begins the Lenten season, and Fox 10 News' Stephen Moody shows us how our community is observing this important time.
Mass was full for this Ash Wednesday at St. Pius in Mobile. This time of year is intended for fasting, prayer, and reflection as people attend church and receive ashes on their foreheads in the shape of a cross. And today's message was to be a better person after walking out of the doors.
It's just as important for us as for everybody around us. If I'm living the faith well, I'm going to have a great relationship with God, who is the source of my joy. But also, if I'm living the faith well, just my life could be an invitation to someone who's far away from God, who needs a little bit of hope. And so I pray that the way that I live, the way that all of us Christians live together, it's a great sign of hope that draws people closer to the Lord.
Ash Wednesday marks the start of Lent, and during Lent, worshipers participate in fasting, self-denial, charitable works, and prayer, all leading up to Good Friday and Easter.
Jesus doesn't disdain anything that he made. So it's a time for us to be silent and spend 40 days in prayer.
And for the younger generation, Father Nicholas says it's a good introduction to the faith.
We got to pass on the faith. The faith is nothing if we don't pass it. The next generation is just as important. And actually, I think some of these kids pray better than I do. I think they're kinder than me. They do better work than me. To me, they're a great inspiration.
Stephen Moody, Fox 10 News.
And Ash Wednesday marks the start of Lent, a tradition of fish fries on Friday. This year, that fish, though, could cost a little more.
Yeah, in parts of the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast, fish prices have surged over the last 3 years. Seafood costs depend on catch quantities, weather, even foreign wars.
Nappy's, a major food distributor in Pennsylvania, supplies fish and seafood across 4 states. And the owner says, yeah, the prices are up.
Fish is definitely more expensive this year. It just depends. It's a commodity item. So when you think about fish, I mean, we buy fish from all over the world, whether it's Greenland, Iceland, I mean, the Arctic, the Pacific, the Atlantic. I mean, it just depends.
Well, don't be surprised if your fish fry dinner costs a little more this Lenten season because of this.
All right, still ahead on Fox News at 4, an audiobook company is launching a new service to give readers a chance to experience their favorite story in a new way. We'll talk about it. First, let's talk about the weather situation. Look at that, 73 degrees. As we have made it to the middle of the week, which, according to surveys, Wednesday is the best day to ask for a favor from your manager. According to surveys, they seem to be more receptive to saying yes. See if it works for you. Fun fact.
An important story with more details and more angles.
In depth with Sarah Wall, mornings at 9 on the Fox 10 Gulf Stream.
Okay, so there's a new way for book lovers to experience their favorite stories.
Audible announced the rollout of immersion reading on its app. Customers who own both the audiobook and Kindle ebook versions of a title can now follow synchronized, highlighted text as the narration plays.
Okay, Audible says finding eligible titles is easy. The app will automatically show you which ebooks have the Audible match.
Audible says combining reading and listening can improve focus and comprehension. The company's data shows users who do both consume nearly twice as much content each month. Does that not take away from the whole point of listening to it?
Okay, so I think, you know, a lot of people are targeted for this. So I have Audible, I love it. And what I do is I buy the book and then I download the Audible. And as I'm listening to it, you know, say if I'm on a treadmill or driving to and from work, then when I get home, I pick it up and then I continue reading on. I'm able to like devour a book faster that way. This, I think, will actually help people because it gives you an option. If you don't want to read it, you don't have to. You can still listen to it.
Yeah.
So now I don't have to buy the book anymore.
Okay.
Saving money here.
I see.
It is official. Apple has announced a special event for March 4th in New York. Shelby, did you get your invite?
I didn't.
It says you're invited. Apple is expected to introduce a number of new products, including new Mac and iPad models. The announcement states that it's going to be an experience, not an event. It is not listed on the official Apple event page. Of course, we do this every year, and every year I am left wondering, where's my invitation to California?
I think you should get one. Daily.com, you need to be there.
Would be nice. Well, an unprecedented testimony for Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, it is a landmark trial against Meta and YouTube that questions whether the tech companies intentionally make their products addictive. Karen Kafa is in Washington with this story.
Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg on Wednesday arriving at the Los Angeles Superior Courthouse to testify in a landmark trial about tech addiction.
Mark, do you have a message to the parents?
Among those awaiting Zuckerberg's arrival, parents calling for accountability for Meta following years of concerns about the impact of Meta-owned Facebook and Instagram on youth mental health and safety.
They take a vulnerable child. Well, all kids are vulnerable. Their self-esteem and what girls face, especially on these platforms, is horrifying to have to go through that. And it really has created such a huge mental health crisis in this country.
In the Los Angeles trial, Meta and YouTube are accused of intentionally designing addictive features that hooked a now 20-year-old woman named in court documents only as Kaylee as a child, harming her mental health. TikTok and Snapchat were also named in the lawsuit. They settled before trial. Former Facebook employee turned whistleblower Frances Haugen says Zuckerberg's testimony about what Meta has known about the risks of its platforms on young people puts a lot on the line for his company.
If they take responsibility, then they're going to have to change their business model and how they do business.
Meta argues it was Kaylee's difficult family life, not social media, that led to her struggles. YouTube has also denied the lawsuit's claims. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Well, we got a little taste of it out there today. Our Dolphins camp, sponsored by All-In Credit Union, shows a pretty decent looking scene here. No significant rain or anything, but some clouds. And we are at 73 degrees near downtown Mobile right now. It's going to get warmer over the next 3 days, so the rest of this week will be warm. And Saturday will be included in that too. We could have some near record highs here, especially Friday and Saturday, with the predicted highs being pretty close to or a little above the existing records. It will get cooler again with our daytime highs on Sunday and Monday. There's going to be a little rain mixed in, so it's not going to be a perfect forecast, but I really want to emphasize a little, because looking at the potential totals here, we're talking about 1/4 of an inch to about 1/2 inch of rain over the next 7 days. And we've got 2 days where we've got some scattered showers in the picture. It looks like the rain's going to be fairly light in intensity. We are looking at clouds right now, and overnight the only concern will be a little patchy fog. We've actually seen some isolated showers over in Okaloosa County today near Eglin Air Force Base, but that's not really amounting to a whole lot as far as measurable precipitation. And the Futurecast shows clouds and fog around through the evening hours tonight. Maybe a little drizzle mixed in, but it's not really indicating anything too significant. And through the day tomorrow, we're actually hopeful that we'll have more sunshine than cloud cover by the middle of the day. This is lunchtime, and it shows it clearing out. Some of that fog may linger near the coast, but I think the further north you go, the more likely we see some sun. And we're still going to have that southwesterly wind. It will be a little breezy at times, and we'll have warm temperatures. We could have a few stray showers tomorrow evening, but rain chances only at about 20% tomorrow. Going forward into Friday, we do have a little bit better shot at some scattered rain. It's just not a big wet weather maker for us on Friday. And into Saturday, same thing. There'll be some showers around. It is a little unsettled, but a lot of areas may stay dry at times. Forecast temperatures tomorrow, we'll have a daytime high near 80 degrees in Mobile. We'll be at 77 in Pensacola, 74 in Gulf Shores, low 80s at Moore, Monroeville at 81, 82 in Chatham. It's going to feel like spring for about 3 days before we get that correction in our temperatures. And so really the next 3 days do look quite warm, and we may even have to run the air conditioning a little bit. Our overnight lows will be in the upper 60s. Some scattered showers are possible Friday and Saturday, but it shouldn't be much in the way of measurable totals, only about 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain. And then we clear out and we will turn colder again, reminding us that we're not done with winter. Looking at temperatures, they will be colder on Sunday and Monday. Monday's high only 54. And we could even have a little light freeze situation Monday night, something to watch out for in the extended forecast. Don't put those winter coats completely away. Keep them around because you may need them next week.
I was going to ask that question, Jason. Thank you for answering it. Well, after the break, Hannah Montana is back. Find out when you can get the best of both worlds and go back in time to 2006 in your entertainment news next.
Lexus of Mobile is proud to sponsor the Fox 10 Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Fox 10 Pledge of Allegiance, sponsored by Lexus of Mobile.
Don't hesitate. Call me, Dean Waite. Tell the insurance company you mean business.
Well, actor Shia LaBeouf is facing battery charges after he allegedly assaulted 2 people during New Orleans Mardi Gras celebrations early yesterday morning.
Police say a staff member at a business tried to remove LaBeouf after he became aggressive, and that's when he allegedly punched someone and then hit someone else in the nose.
Yeah, TMZ had video of it. He allegedly was seen headbutting someone in the nose. He was held down until police arrived. He was injured himself and taken to the hospital before being released and arrested. Yeah, he took a few punches. Some people were trying to say you need to calm down, stop it. They ended up swinging on him as well in the videos that I've seen.
So he just recently, I want to say, moved to Louisiana, apparently to be closer to his family after separating from his wife. I don't know. I hate to say this, you constantly hear stuff about Shia LaBeouf, so hopefully he gets the help that he needs.
He definitely needs it. I'm always rooting for him. You want to see somebody come back, just because that was my childhood. I watched Even Stevens, Holes.
Did you see
all
Honey
those
Boy?
things? I did not, but I was told to watch that. It's about his life loosely.
It will explain a lot. If it does, mirror his growing up, it explains a lot.
That's on my to-watch list.
Yeah. Miley Cyrus, speaking of your childhood, heading back to Disney.
Yes, the singer will celebrate the 20th anniversary of Hannah Montana with a new Disney Plus interview. Filmed in front of a live studio audience, the special features an in-depth conversation with Miley Cyrus.
Well, that ought to be interesting, reflecting on the creation of the iconic character and the show's lasting impact. It will also include never-before-seen archival footage and recreated sets like the Stewart family living room and Hannah's closet.
So the special is going to stream March 24th. I think initially she wanted nothing to do with the show. Obviously, she was trying to break out of that mold.
Well, and she did.
She did. She cut her hair. She started dancing things that wouldn't be typically accepted on Disney or for kids. And she really just kind of came into her own, into adulthood that way. But now I think she's reflecting back and not as trying to distance herself
matured.
anymore. Yeah.
Everyone goes through that. It's just, she happens to be famous, so we get to see all the learning lessons play out. But
I'll be watching that, I think.
Not for the Hannah Montana part, but just to hear some of her reflection. I think she's a very interesting person. And I like some of her music.
I love her voice. One of the best voices to me of our generation, but that's another story for another day. All right, your entertainment news now, from Star Wars to Scooby-Doo and more.
Scooby-Doo.
Where are you?
Let's go to David Daniel with your Hollywood Minute. I haven't heard about Scooby-Doo in a while.
What's he been up to?
I can use some information.
Whoa, for this price, I'll tell you whatever you want.
I'm looking for a hut.
Close for the night. Thank you.
Yes, that's Martin Scorsese as a voice actor in The Mandalorian and Grogu. Pedro Pascal and Sigourney Weaver lead the cast of the first big-screen Star Wars installment in 7 years. The official trailer just dropped. The film opens in theaters May 22nd.
I think I try to keep a positive attitude wherever I go.
McKenna Grace reportedly is getting her Scooby on. Variety and Deadline report the actress has been cast as the young Daphne Blake in Netflix's live-action Scooby-Doo series. The show will explore how the Mystery Incorporated gang got together.
It's easy to say it's the drugs. But what about if it's me? What about if it's really Billy who's doing this?
Billy Idol Should Be Dead looks at how the punk pioneer survived to become a music and cultural icon. This is a first-look clip from the feature-length documentary. which opens in LA February 23rd, New York February 25th, and wider on the 26th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Well, next up, we're going to dive into this big breaking stories coming up on Fox News at 5.
We've also got this.
I know every parent across the country, frankly, is terrified about what can happen to kids on the internet.
A new law helping to crack down on child sex trafficking and online predators.
We're going to show you how reports are soaring and what parents need to know to keep their children safe online. You don't want to miss this important story next.
Okay, let's go. Got the exam, chose the frames, and glasses were ready in 30 minutes. Stanton.
Committed to you. This is Fox 10 News.
And welcome back in. Let's talk about what we're working on for your most local news at 5.
First, strong words from City Councilwoman who represents downtown Mobile. All this comes as police continue to investigate a shooting after Joe Cain Day parades.
Yeah, plus we are getting an update on Mobile's new arena. What's left to be done and when is it going to open? Plus, high school students in Northwest Florida getting a jump start on their careers, operating some bulldozers and landing job interviews. We're going to show you how they're doing it. Those stories and more coming up in less than 30 minutes from now on Fox 10 News at 5.
All right, here's what we're seeing out there right now. Our Admiral camera, sponsored by Eastern Shore Toyota Hyundai. And, we got some low clouds hanging around. We've been sunny at times, partly cloudy at other times now, kind of mostly cloudy. And we had some clouds around this morning, too. We got a great shot from Julie in Point Clear here. As you can see, the upper clouds, but also some pretty colors in the skies. As we track conditions for tomorrow in Pensacola, this is what we're seeing. We've got temperatures in the mid-60s early. We'll warm up into the mid-70s tomorrow afternoon. We'll have a pretty good little breeze out of the south at about 13 miles an hour. As we take a look at Mobile, we'll be even warmer. It looks like temperatures getting up into the middle 70s by the afternoon with that south wind at about 15 miles an hour. So a little breezy each afternoon, but the rain chances are relatively low in the short term. We're at 73 degrees right now in downtown Mobile with a light south-southeast breeze. As far as rain showers go this evening, if we see anything, it would be just little spotty areas of drizzle and some light rain in the forecast area. So we're not expecting a ton of activity, but it's possible we could see a few sprinkles mixed in. Our rain chances do bump up a little along with our temperatures. Look at our daytime highs. Tomorrow up near 80 degrees. Friday and Saturday, same temperature, and the existing records are low enough that we may see some record highs on Friday and Saturday. Overnight lows will be above normal as well. Colder air comes in by the second part of the weekend, and I'll have more on that in your forecast coming up.
Well, Buffalo Wild Wings, boneless wings, are here to say thanks to a federal judge. A U.S. district judge ruling that the sports bar franchise may continue to call its menu item boneless wings, despite a claim that the product's name is misleading. The decision comes after a customer, Eamon Hallam, filed a lawsuit in 2023, accusing the restaurant of false advertising. He alleged the boneless wings are more similar to chicken nuggets. But the judge dismissed the proposed class action lawsuit, saying Hallam's claims had, quote, no meat on its bones. Real quote there. The judge said Hallam did not produce enough evidence to show that customers are easily fooled by the use of the term. But the judge is allowing him to amend his initial complaint by March 20th to present additional evidence that the term is deceptive.
New data exposes how often predators are targeting children online. In this Watching Your Wallet, consumer investigator Carice Jackman is speaking with lawmakers and advocates about what the numbers mean and what parents can do right now to protect their sons and daughters.
I don't think there's a more heinous crime than the sex trafficking of children.
Georgia Democratic Senator Jon Ossoff helped lead the Bipartisan Reports Act, a law that requires certain online platforms to report suspected child sex trafficking and online enticement to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, or NCMEC, which operates the cyber tip line.
I know every parent across the country, frankly, is terrified about what can happen to kids on the internet.
Ossoff says the law triggered a spike in reports to the tip line.
By requiring tech companies to report evidence of child trafficking has resulted in a nearly 1,000% increase in reports to the tip line of evidence of child sex trafficking. That empowers law enforcement to go after those who would traffic children.
NCMEC also tracks online enticement when someone tries to lure a child online into sexual acts. NCMEC says those reports jumped 77% in a recent 6-month comparison. Yoda Soros serves as Chief Legal Officer at NCMEC.
But what the Report Act really did is it actualized what our team knew was happening online. So now we are actually getting that information. We're getting that vital analytical information.
What tips or recommendations would you encourage parents to know about?
If anything makes them uncomfortable, if they feel like somebody is interacting with them online, if they said or did something online that they now regret or feel uncomfortable with, the child knowing that they can come to an adult, that they can get help. We all need to collectively be able to protect children from this.
With this watching your wallet, I'm Carice Jackman.
In your health news now, the Food and Drug Administration says it will now review a new mRNA flu vaccine from Moderna. Earlier this month, the FDA refused to accept the application, citing concerns about how the vaccine was tested. The company says the FDA didn't raise any concerns about safety or effectiveness. Moderna later met with regulators and proposed a revised approval plan based on age. It's now seeking full approval for adults 50 to 64 and an accelerated approval for those 65 and older with additional follow-up study. If approved, the vaccine could be available for adults 50 and up for the upcoming flu season.
Okay, I've got a question.
Nope.
People use, already answering it.
I know this is serious, go ahead.
People use AI tools like ChatGPT for almost everything. But does this mean that we should?
It is a question a lot of people are asking, and most people are, in fact, using AI bots to ask about everyday tasks. However, a growing number of them are also turning to chatbots when they need someone to talk to, and that includes looking for help with their mental health.
Licensed therapists are naturally concerned, but those who've tried it see some benefits. Avid TikToker and single mom Jenna Muhammad says ChatGPT helps keep her calm when her life gets overwhelming and encourages her to process her emotions.
A lot of people, they don't feel comfortable to sit with a person and tell their darkest secrets. It's honestly a safe, private space where you can just, dump your thoughts and dump your feelings without feeling judged.
Experts say since AI isn't human, it can't fully understand the human experience.
My initial reaction was, what? A client came into me and he said, good news. I have 2 therapists now. I have you and ChatGPT. Chat is going to give you what you want to hear and maybe a better iteration of it, even a clearer iteration, and that's great. But you're not going to go deeper.
When ChatGPT was asked if it recommends people use it for therapy, it admitted it has limits. It also said it's most useful for emotional support and learning coping strategies, however, not a substitute for a licensed therapist.
ChatGPT and mental health experts also agree if someone is in crisis, they should immediately seek professional help. And most chatbots will provide the numbers for crisis hotlines, including the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. And just a good reminder, I know that soundbite that we used earlier in this story talks about it being private, somebody that's not going to share. But again, if we go back to that old rule, everything on the internet, you never know. It's there for good, who knows? So always seek a professional and not ChatGPT. Well, it's a leading cause of job-related disability in the U.S. Up to 80% of people experience lower back pain at some point in their lives. Experts say there are things you can do now to help prevent this problem in the future. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has ways you can save yourself years of unnecessary pain.
From improperly lifting something heavy to sitting for prolonged periods, there are many ways to strain your back.
Back pain, unfortunately, is quite common.
Dr. Trishul Kapoor with Cleveland Clinic says you can reduce the risk of developing pain First, have a healthy diet and exercise. Having a strong core is especially important since those muscles support the spine. And manage your weight, but also talk to your doctor about which number is healthy for you to see on the scale. He says sometimes other factors like fat, muscle, and bone content can skew that.
Weight distribution also plays a significant role in terms of where are you carrying most of that weight, because that can have significant impacts on your spine in terms of increasing certain curvatures that are exacerbated.
Next, get underlying medical problems under control. Kapoor says conditions like diabetes and hypertension can increase inflammation in the body and can eventually lead to spine, joint, and muscle problems. Smoking also causes swelling, so he says to avoid it. And be mindful of the way you pick up something heavy.
Lifting, making sure your back is straight, your posture is correct, and using your buttocks and your knees and your back together in one form to squat yourself up and lift that heavy item or object that it may be.
Finally, Kapoor says not to dismiss persistent pain. If it doesn't go away or gets worse after a few days, see a doctor.
Don't ignore small signs because they could lead to more dangerous things later on.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
An adorable update coming up. A little girl celebrating her first official Mardi Gras. It's a follow-up. If you remember, we covered this last year. It's coming up when Fox News at 4 returns.
Library of local content.
Unwritten legend.
This is crazy good.
So good.
Stream anytime. The Fox 10.
All right, here's what we're tracking as we take a look at the region with our satellite picture. We've got some upper level clouds across the skies, especially to the north. A little bit more sunshine this afternoon and this evening closer to the coast. And throughout the area, our temperatures are very, very comfortable today. We've had a little breeze. It's not cold. It's not hot. It's just right. We're looking at 74 degrees in Mobile right now. It's 72 in Milton, 71 in Pensacola, 73 for Gulf Shores. That's a pretty good number considering how chilly the Gulf is and the wind is off the water. And then you get further to the north and plenty of mid-70s, Evergreen and Chatham at 75. And it will be even warmer tomorrow. We've got a continuation of this warm spell that will last through at least Saturday upcoming in the forecast. We're not seeing a ton of rain. The Futurecast indicates maybe a little bit of spotty drizzle or a very brief shower, but most places won't see much rain tomorrow. And we're hopeful that in the middle of the day, we'll get more sunshine than cloud cover. We still may have some low clouds and fog coming off the Gulf. We could see patchy fog tonight. That also could be an issue tomorrow morning. We're not looking at a dense fog advisory, but we have patchy dense fog possible. And you can get an update on those travel conditions tomorrow morning right here on Fox 10 News with meteorologist Matt Barentine. We go into the afternoon tomorrow, and again, maybe a couple of isolated showers. Rain chance only at about 20% on our Thursday. Friday, same kind of setup. We'll have an onshore flow. It will be warmer than average. We'll have some peaks of sun, but we also may see a few spotty showers. A little better chance of that rain on Friday than we have on Saturday. And our forecast looks like we're going to continue to see a few isolated showers as we head into the weekend. Our forecast temperatures for tomorrow at 80 degrees. For our daytime high tomorrow, that's going to probably not be a record tomorrow. The existing record's up around 83, but low 80s, Grove Hill and Evergreen, Bruton at 82, Pensacola at 77. The warm air is going to be with us. And here's what we have going forward. Right around 80 on Friday, rain chance at 40%. Saturday, a little better shot at some rain, but still, all in all, when it's all said and done between now and Saturday, we're talking about rain totals of about a quarter to a half an inch. So there's not going to be a ton of rain in the forecast area, really just pesky showers. We might get a few rumbles mixed in on Saturday simply because it's going to be so warm. There's a little more instability, and we do have a significant front coming through. We dropped down to 46 on a Saturday night, and then Sunday's high only 61. Temperatures will get down into the 30s and possibly even briefly in the upper 20s early next week as some colder air comes in. We may see a light freeze by next week.
All right, Jason, thank you. We've got a sweet Fat Tuesday follow-up for you. Lenise, I don't know if you remember this. Lee and I last year, when we were on the streets covering Mardi Gras, we got to help a mother and father-to-be and their friends guess the gender of their baby. We went around asking them, is it a boy, is it a girl? And many of them said boy. And then this is her now. She celebrated her first official Mardi Gras. Lakeland Chastain and her mom, Kaylin, sent us these pics and video. Ain't she cute?
Decked out in the purple. I love it. Celebrating her first Mardi Gras. You know, you should be careful. You start trying to guess, you know, what a person's having when they're preggo.
No.
50-50 shot, right?
That's right. 50-50 chance. I think there were a lot of guy friends out there that just knew it was going to be a boy. But of course, they love that cute little girl. Look at her bow.
I know. So we missed you out there for Mardi Gras this year.
I know. I missed you guys as well. Wish I could have been there, but you know, had to take it a little easy this year.
Yeah.
And I'll be back next year.
Okay.
It's so fun. Speaking of this year and celebrations and birthdays, because you were not here Monday, and then Tuesday was Fat Tuesday, we had to throw this in there, you know. Happy birthday to Lanice Lagan.
That's Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. These are
and that was 4 o'clock pick stuff.
Yes. That was after maternity
That's 5 o'clock
leave.
pick stuff.
I returned from maternity leave there.
That's me being silly in commercial breaks as normal.
Matching in our blacks and our purples and
Aw.
Yeah.
Gosh, we've worked together for a long time looking at these pictures, Shel.
I know. You know, I think about that. I sometimes, we all think we're so young, and we are. But
Except when someone tells you, I grew up watching you. You're like, oh, you did.
Or you look back at pictures of how long we've been working together. It is a pleasure and an honor. I said this on social media, but Lanice, you truly do just bring such a joy to the newsroom. You're so eloquently spoken. You always have the right things to say, and you're a great listener and friend.
Well, thank you.
So happy
Good grief.
birthday.
I'm not going to cry. Thank you very much. And everyone, thank you for the multitude of messages on Facebook. And on that note, enough about me. We'll be right back.
Happy birthday, Lanice.
There's a room from good to extraordinary, and that's the Maloof Carpet One experience.
Ever been rock climbing?
Oh, yes, I love it.
Okay, I need to try it. If you've ever been or seen someone do it, you know the journey to the top is paved with decisions, challenges, and setbacks.
You got to pace yourself. It is unlike the odyssey that lies before someone diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. This disease is being considered a major public health crisis with 1 million patients in the U.S., few treatment options, and no cure.
Well, on this week's The Good Side, we are taking you on a climb, one spearheaded by a man with the disease who unwittingly inspired a movement with the goal of upending Parkinson's.
Nice, John. You need tenacity to get to the top. Jonathan Lesson, in the white shirt and black pants, has more grit and grip than most.
I don't really understand how it can make you feel so good to be it, but when you have Parkinson's, your world becomes smaller and you make smaller movements. When you get on the wall, you can just stretch out and you get to the top, you feel fantastic.
The retired physician was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease more than 20 years ago. He started searching for a gym that would let him climb. Lesson heard no after no.
I called this one and I found Molly.
What made you say yes?
Gosh, it's crazy to me that people said no to him.
Nice. Molly Donnellan Kupka doesn't accept no. The then director of Sport Rock Climbing Centers in Alexandria, Virginia, started climbing with Jonathan twice a week. What does rock climbing do for you?
It keeps you stretched out. It does cognitive work. It's kind of cool because you're on the wall and you have to figure out a puzzle.
Doctors often prescribe exercise for Parkinson's patients. Climbing targets what this disease attacks: balance, coordination, and muscle strength.
Blaze on.
The 2 climbers became 5, then 6, then more.
And then we had the shaky 6.
Wait, the fidgety 5 and the shaky 6.
And then we lost count when we got to 7.
We have 72 locations now, and I mean, even in the last year, I was just looking at our numbers last night, and I'm like, we're at over like 1,300 climbers, and we were at like 400 this time last year.
Molly turned it into a nonprofit, Upending Parkinson's. Now 1,300 climbers across the country are part of the program. Mark and Betsy DeMulder are among them.
I can do most of the things I've always done, and
And it's because we've delayed the onset of the more serious symptoms, and I think it's through exercise like climbing.
Even though the most obvious parts of Parkinson's are the physical shaking, the other things that are not obvious are anxiety, depression, apathy. To come here and to have the sense of I can do this, I'm good at this.
That is, I think, the coolest part to me, is seeing people's happiness from climbing and the joy they get out of it and the friends they make. He was working on a 10 earlier.
To prove it works, Molly partnered with the National Institutes of Health on a study. Their results? Climbers showed real improvement in mobility and balance.
I mean, there were so many improvements. I've seen it from everybody in the group.
Molly doesn't have Parkinson's. No one in her family does.
Seeing how much it helped people, and then learning why it was helping them and making that make sense, and then realizing there's not anything out there like that, I felt like I had to do something about it.
Proving one yes can change everything.
I found the one yes.
So all we need is one yes.
And a sea of no's.
And a sea of no's. Boy, is that a life lesson.
Yeah.